Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to make a classic red and white hand-tied fresh flower bouquet for you. I got these bundles for $9.99 at our local grocery store. And it has daisies, carnations, and roses in it. It does not have any greenery with it, and you can purchase fresh greenery, you can cut fresh greenery from your garden, you can use artificial greenery, or you could do what I did and use ribbon instead of greenery. So I like having something kind of edge the bouquet, gives it kind of a platform. So I always like to do a collar of greenery, or in this case, it's going to be some tulle loops. That's going to go around the base of the bouquet to kind of, like I said, ground the bouquet itself and hide the mechanics. But I started off by prepping all my flowers. Some of the carnations were kind of tight, and if you gently hold the base of the carnation and just kind of brush the carnation out, you can get it to kind of fluff itself. You could also give it a new cut and put it in some warm water, and that also helps it expand a little quicker. I'm prepping my daisies by stripping off all the greens, the little leaves from there. And then I'm gonna clip it down into what I like to call bite-sized chunks. So this is beautiful as is, but if I was to make a round hand-tied bouquet a little tighter, not all those blossoms are gonna show, and they're just gonna get smushed inside of the bouquet, and then it kind of looks messy. So I'm trying to clip the stems so that I have as many blossoms on the same level as possible. And so that does leave me with quite a bit of waste, but it doesn't go to waste because you can take those daisies and you can make a toss bouquet with them. You can use them for um, cake flowers. You can use them as decorations on the tables. There's many things you can do with them. So just because you clip them off for the bouquets, hang on to them. Along with the rose petals that I have here, those are the guard petals I like to remove off of the roses. They usually have a little bit of damage to them, but you hang on to those petals because you can always drop them down the aisle, sprinkle them on the table. There's many things you can do with it. You really don't have to create a lot of waste with it. But I did remove the leaves off of the roses, so I have those nice clean stems. And then for the ribbon treatment on the outside, I'm actually using tulle here. It's a sparkly tulle, and I'm just doing about 3 loops. And you can make it more like bunny ears, one on either side. In this case, I'm stacking them because I kind of want to build a little bit of thickness around the base of it since it is see-through. You kind of want a little bit of more color, a little bit denser of a look to it. So I've got 3 loops there, and I'm going to use my little wire to um, hold it in place. So at this point, you can cover the wire with some wax floral tape. I left them bare, and my intentions were to use the wire to hold the bouquet. However, I misjudged how wide the bouquet was going to be, but we'll get to that in a minute there. So I'm going to be using the daisies as more of like a filler flower. They are white and therefore brighter than the red roses and the red carnations. However, you usually kind of want to showcase the more expensive flowers, which would be the roses and the carnations. So in this case, I'm using the white daisies more as a filler, and they're going to go in between my red flowers. And it's just mainly a trick of positioning the red, not positioning, spacing out the red so that they're not bunched together. So I just want to have that nice red with the white in between, almost like a soccer ball where it's spaced out that way, just so you can kind of showcase the red color, and by having just a rhythmic repeat of the red here and there, it creates a nice vision for the eyes, I guess. So it doesn't look messy. So it starts off a little rough. So bear with me as I work everything in there. You could also use baby's breath in place of the daisies. You could even introduce like a third color and do like maybe a pink carnation, do a red, pink, in white. If you wanted to, this would be perfect for like a Valentine's or a Sweetest Day type of wedding too. But doing the hand tied arrangement, like I said, I'm going to go for more of a round shape. You just want to basically introduce each new flower so that it spirals into the same angle. So as I add flowers to the front, I make sure that the stems are facing in one direction, and then when I go into the back, it's going to be following through and going in the same direction as the one in the front. It's so hard to explain, but in the end, it makes a really great spiral. And if you wanted to practice before you actually purchase the flowers and do this yourself, you can buy like bundles of wheat or just decorative sticks or something with about the length of a flower that you would get at a store there, and just practice bringing each one at the same direction. So one in front of you across to your right, the one behind you across to your left. And when you're all done doing that, the stems on the bottom there should make a perfect spiral, almost to the point where you could cut it even and then it would stand up on the table on its own. But that's by following the same direction on the stems. Again, it creates that rhythm, that repeat, that consistent pattern that makes it calming for somebody to view. Once you have a misplaced, or not misplaced, but once you have something going in a different direction, it just creates a resistance, and then that's right where your eyes are going to go. When you're working with artificial flowers, it's not such a issue if you do happen to go in the wrong direction, because you can always bend the stem and just kind of work that artificial flower into the direction that you want it to go. When working with fresh flowers, though, you do have to be careful that kind of go consistently in the same direction. And the bigger the dome shape too, you just really want to build up all the filler flowers around more of your focal flowers to kind of push them down, to kind of give it that round shape. As you can see, the lower on the bouquet I go, the greater of an angle I'm going to introduce that new stem to the bouquet. And lots of fluffing. You can tie it off with a chenille stem as you go along. You can use some wax floral tape and kind of tie it off. I like to keep it more in my hand unless the stems are really spinny, and then I'll tie it off. But then that way I can push and pull and fluff the bouquet as I go. But then you do also run the risk of your hand getting tired for one, or weak, where some of the flowers might kind of dip back down below. So you can kind of see how the shape comes together. And this is where I'm going to add the tulle loops on there. And as you can see, I was trying to, like I said, my idea was to just have the loops kind of hug the bouquet and hold it tight until I'm ready to completely tie everything off. But it was a bit wider on the handle than what I anticipated. So I did have to use that chenille stem. But I am taking those ribbon loops and giving it a good squeeze in between, and I made 4 bundles of them, so I'm gonna do a north south southeast west type of thing on the bouquet there. Just want to get it as close to the base as possible, and then you can give it a nice little fluff, and then that's going to hide your mechanics. It gives a little bit of sparkle. It kind of has a nice clean look as opposed to using other types of greenery. And it kind of gives it that almost finished look to the bottom there. I like how it kind of makes like a halo around the bottom, almost like angelic looking. But you could use any type of ribbon too. You can use like a fatter satin ribbon, like a number, I think I call it number 40, the bigger ribbon there. Do some big satin ribbon loops too. You can mix and match different widths of the ribbon, and you can even do some trails or tails to hang down. That always gives nice movement as you're walking down the aisle or to that special event. And then I'm taking the chenille stem or the pipe cleaner one last time. I'm going to really twist it nice and tight. Hand tieds do have a tendency to move as you gather all the stems there. Just fluffing out the tool. And I like to measure about 2 hands down to cut the stems, and then you can keep them in water overnight if you wanted to, or you could do some kind of ribbon treatment on the stem itself. But there you go, classic red and white roses, carnations, daisies, hand-tied bouquet. Thank you so much for watching.